Today is Thursday, Parashat Vaetchanan. One of the portions of the parasha of this week is the Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha, the Shema that we read every day, morning and evening. One of the mitzvot in the Shema Yisrael is Uchtavtam al Mezuzot Betecha, the mitzvah of having a mezuzah on the door of the house as you come into a house. The mezuzah is on the right, and the mezuzah has in it two parashiot that are written, the parasha of Shema Yisrael and the parasha of V'haya im Shamoah. The idea of the mezuzah is on the door, on the right side, those holy writings that are there is for the protection of the house, for the protection of the family that lives in that house. There is a famous story that is brought in the Gemara about Onkelos, a ger who was the nephew of the emperor of Rome, who had converted to Judaism, and his uncle was upset with that fact, so he sent soldiers to bring him back to Rome. And every group of soldiers that he sent, as soon as they started talking to him, through words, he convinced them to convert to Judaism, and instead of taking him back to Rome, they stayed with him in Israel. So the next group of soldiers that the Roman emperor sends, he tells them, under no circumstance are you to talk to him. You just go there and pick him up. So they went and they picked him up, muzzled mouth, they wouldn't say any word, and just as they were on the way out, he kisses the mezuzah. So they asked him, what did you just do? And he says, well, I have a question for you. The king or the emperor in the palace, where is he? He said, well, he's in the palace. And who watches over him? Well, we have guards all around the palace. There are soldiers that protect the palace and protect him. Well, he says, you know what? With us, the Jewish people, Hashem is on the outside of the door protecting the Jewish people inside the door. So this is a king that protects what is inside. And again, these soldiers converted. But with this story illustrates a point that the mezuzah that we put on the door is a very important mitzvah. It's a mitzvah that is protective for the family that lives in that house. But then there's another question. If that protection is on the outside, isn't there another pasuk that says, Ish ve'isha zachu shechina b'nehem? A man and a woman have the merit to be together. They form a Jewish home. Shechina b'nehem, the divine presence is amongst them. And the reason that is given, Rabbi Akiva says, the word Ish has the letter Yud in it. The word Isha has the letter He in it. Yud and He together form the name of Hashem. Yud K is the name of Hashem. And isn't there the holiness and the presence and the divine presence is inside the house? So how can you say and compare this to a king that is protecting the people inside the house and the mezuzah is on the outside doorpost of the house? So really to explain this, the Shvile Pinchas writes on the parasha of this week that this is parallel to the verse Sur Mera Va'aseh Tov. Sur Mera is stay away from bad, Va'aseh Tov, and do good. So if we're talking about this aspect of the Jewish home, the mezuzah is a protective shield on the outside to protect us from any negative impact from the outside. But inside the house, that's where it is our duty to make sure that through the way that we observe mitzvot inside the house, that way that we observe the Shabbat inside the house, that the way that we have Kedusha inside the house, and we enlighten the house on the inside to have the divine presence in it. And both are important. Protection from negative influences and positive reinforcement inside the house through mitzvot and through the light of the Torah is what creates a beautiful home of harmony and love and peace and blessings. And if you really think about it, the Shvile Pinchas, Rabbi Pinchas Friedman also brings an important aspect. The two parashiot that are written in the scroll that is in the Mezuzah, parallel the letters Vav and Ke and He. And together with the Yud and the He inside the house through the mitzvot that we accomplish. And the Vav and the He of this, that are represented by these two parashiot in the scroll, in the Mezuzah, together form the name of Hashem, Yud and He, and Vav and Ke. And this is bringing holiness, sanctity, and blessings to the Jewish homes through the mitzvot that are done inside the house and the mezuzah that is there on the house. And as we go in and out of the house, we kiss the mezuzah to always have a reminder to always think of Hashem. And on the outside of the mezuzah, there is the letter Shin, Dalet, and Yud, which is one of the names of Hashem. But also it's an acronym for the words Shomer Daltot Israel, the one who protects and guards the homes of the Jewish people. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.